Countdown to 52nd ordinary session of ECOWAS heads of state and government in Abuja. President Buhari canvasses sustainable peace and prosperity in the sub-region.
All 6 member countries also need to deepen strategic cooperation to harness the enormous fishery potential.
Nigeria calls for sub-regional cooperation in fishery production as ministers of agriculture in the Gulf of Guinea meet in Abuja. INEC expands political space, registers 21 new political parties, denies deadline on party primaries. Flashback to December 2017, call to back, correspondent fishes out the golden fish among the new weeks. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Olajide Bello on the news tonight. And with me is Jennifer Igwe in Lagos, Ogochukwuka in Benin, and Caleb in Jos. Now, ahead of the 52nd ordinary session of the ECOWAS heads of state government on Saturday, President Muhammadu Buhari has granted audience to the chairperson of the African Union Commission, as well as the need for accountability and good neighborliness across the sub-region and the continent towards achieving sustainable peace and prosperity. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
President Muhammadu Buhari was the ECOWAS Commission President Marcel de Souza. He commended the ECOWAS chief for not only being firm, but also insisting on accountability and transparency at the ECOWAS Commission headquarters, describing it as gladdening, while promising Nigeria's commitment to fulfilling its obligations to the sub-regional body. The president, however, demands a formal report on the situation in Guinea-Bissau. Nigeria, he said, needs her troops back home and hopes that the president of that country will accept the resolution of the situation there constitutionally. The ECOWAS Commission President Marcel de Souza said Nigeria's impact on ECOWAS is quite strong and thanked the country for agreeing to host the 52nd ordinary session of the organization at short notice. He also commended Nigeria for being the highest contributor of troops to Guinea-Bissau, admitting, however, that the troops can't be there endlessly. At another meeting, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, was full of appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for his selfless and impactful leadership in Nigeria and Africa. As he puts it, without President Muhammadu Buhari and Nigeria, many things would not have been possible in ECOWAS, the Lake Chad Basin Commission, and the entire African continent. The AU Commission, he said, keenly follows the battle against corruption in Nigeria, and it's therefore not by chance that President Buhari was chosen by other African leaders to champion the crusade against the cankerworm in 2018. He solicited the support of the Nigerian leader for the reforms being planned in AU Commission, saying his guidance is vital. Mr. Mahamat said Africa must speak with one voice, and the voice of Nigeria is preponderant. President Buhari, who once again described the situation in Libya as unfortunate and disturbing, insists that the recharging of Lake Chad must be done soonest so that the youth will stop daring the Sahara Desert and the Mediterranean Sea in search of greener pastures. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Now moving to the agricultural sector, Nigeria has appealed for sub-regional cooperation, fishery production, management and surveillance towards addressing illegal fishing activities in the Gulf of Guinea. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who made the appeal at the Ministers' Conference in Abuja, also said that Nigeria is to acquire patrol vessels to further boost the country's fight against the menace of unreported and unregulated fishing activities. Musa Baba Aliyu has the details.
Fish is not only a source of protein for more than 300 million people in West Africa. It is also a source of livelihood and viable economic resource that provides employment and livelihood for more than 100 million people in the region. But activities of smugglers, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing activities remain a threat to the socio-economic development in the Gulf of Guinea. With Nigeria having coastline of over 800 kilometers and a fleet of 150 fishing vessels, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the country will collaborate with her neighbors to eradicate the illegal fishing activities.
All 6 member countries also need to deepen strategic cooperation to harness the enormous fisheries potentials in the Gulf of Guinea for the benefit of our people. I implore the Secretariat of the FCWC to prioritize the speedy sharing of information between member states in order to more effectively checkmate the activities of foreign vessels fishing illegally within our territorial waters.
Nigeria is a member of the Fisheries Committee for West Central Gulf of Guinea, established to facilitate cooperation in fishery management between 6 member countries.
Nigeria is aware that all the efforts to fight illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activities cannot be done in isolation, but collectively by the countries in the Gulf of Guinea.
These will no doubt require us to go beyond mere words to practical actions that deal with issues including fish trade and barriers, transshipment and illegal fishing activities.
This is the 10th in series of the West Central Gulf of Guinea Ministers Conference, and Nigeria is holding for the 2nd time. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Now away from agriculture, the National Lottery Regulatory Commission says Nigeria has lost billions of naira due to non-remittance to the National Lottery Trust Fund from SMS lottery by telecommunication operators. The Commission disclosed these at an investigative hearing by the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the operational activities of telecommunication firms. Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Lottery is played all over the world, and in most developed economies, its proceeds have been used to provide social amenities to citizens, especially the less privileged. At this investigative hearing, it was re-echoed that the National Lottery Regulatory Commission Act of Nigeria stipulates that 20% of proceeds from lottery should be paid into the National Lottery Trust Fund. But unfortunately, this meeting reveals that major telecommunication operators who run lotteries on their products have not been complying with this law.
We've lost massive amounts, massive revenues to SMS lottery operators. Massive.
Millions or billions?
No. In our estimations, we've lost billions.
The acting executive secretary of the National Lottery Trust Fund, Bello Maigari, was emphatic that if the situation is not remedied, the aim of enacting the law might be eroded.
They have been carrying out their businesses with impunity. Anytime we send in our demand notices for them to show cause why they have failed to remit 20% required by law to the trust fund, all they do is to go ignore us or threaten us with court, with processes of court.
And it's painful that some of these CEOs we're talking about are carrying Nigerian face. How can you do that to your country? You can't try that in South Africa. Neither can you try it in India. Or can you try it in US or United Kingdom?
This is worrisome because in most climes, when the government wants to increase its revenue without increasing tax, lottery becomes the next alternative. But with the present situation in the country, lottery is yet to occupy a place on the ladder of revenue earners for Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Now talking power, the Rural Electrification Agency is targeting its 2018 budget implementation on capital projects such as rehabilitation, construction and completion of ongoing projects. This came up during the agency's budget defense session before the Senate Committee on Power, Steel Development and Metallurgy. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Izumba reports.
The Managing Director, Damilola Ogunbiyi, also told the committee that they have covered all the geopolitical zones in Nigeria.
We have provision of obviously rehabilitation of the strategically secured areas in the northeast, including the bridge of 200 million, and extension of the 33 kV line of 7 kilometers.
We want to be sure that what you're doing also conforms with the APSR Act. Because we cannot set up criteria to do something and then all of a sudden something else just comes in. If the ministry has up to 10 billion naira to play around with, we would have thought that even completing all these projects would have been enough a far much more.
I strongly feel that some of those work that those projects that capital projects that we have in 2017 that have not been resolved, we have to look at how we can roll them over into 2018.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria was amongst the agencies that presented the budget before the committee. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Esumba, NT News.
And talking of road constructions in the country, lack of maintenance culture, effect of urbanization and overpopulation, and the role of the private sector were issues that top discussions at the second Road Transport Stakeholders Workshop in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Declaring the workshop open, Minister of Transportation Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi emphasized federal government's commitment towards reviving the sector. Oyinaya Kaluoka reports.
The city of Uyo was welcoming as delegates across the country and beyond share experiences on strategic transportation plan for the country. Key players pointed out that transportation is an important key to economic development of any country, hence the need for government to pay serious attention to it. Although efforts of government in repositioning the sector was commended, suggestions were made on the importance of rationalization and alignments of roads.
This presentation I'm trying to make visualizes a rationalization whereby only major interstate roads would be designated as federal roads.
Minister of Power, Works and Housing and his counterpart from the Transportation Ministry highlighted government plans and policies aimed at restructuring the sector.
We're doing a lot in terms of policies. That's what the responsibility of the ministry is when it comes to roads, to road transportation.
Comparing what is happening internationally, we still have a long way to go.
The government needs to come back and take the latest model of funding road, which is through public-private partnership.
The workshop has the theme, the role of road transportation in the achievement of sustainable development goals and Nigerians' economic recovery and growth plan. From Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Oyinaya Kaluoka, NTA News.
Still talking on road network, in order to ensure quality of work and timely completion of road projects in the nation's capital, Minister of Federal Capital Territory Mohammed Musa Bello has undertaken an inspection of some ongoing projects. Our correspondent reports that the minister, who was at the Constitution Avenue linking to the airport road, expressed optimism on the quality of work so far, with the hope that the contractors will deliver the work in time in honor view of desired access for free movement.
Barrier, put some reflectors. Okay. Please, because during the holiday, if you can work on it, we do it tomorrow, please. It's a promise. So that people can know. And now in the evening in the TV, you fulfill your promise. You have given Abuja the Christmas present, because you see the Millennium Park over the weekend, people don't have to go this way now. So they can go this, and when they go there, they can either go straight, right, or left.
Now, road projects in Abuja are part of the federal government's commitment towards provision of infrastructure for social and economic development. Now, away from road construction, now to political matters. In line with its constitutional responsibility, the Independent National Electoral Commission has registered 21 more political parties, bringing the total number to 67 in Nigeria. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Birnikadu has this background report on this development.
The Electoral Act 2010 as amended and the 1999 Constitution empower INEC to register or deregister political parties. As a country practicing multi-party system, the associations have the right to seek for INEC consideration provided constitutional requirements are met. The newly registered 21 political parties, to add to the existing 46, include All Blending Party ABP, All Grassroots Alliance AGA, Alliance for New Nigeria ANN, Abundant Nigeria Renewal Party ANRP, Coalition for Change C4C, Freedom and Justice Party FJP, Grassroots Development Party of Nigeria GDPN, and 14 others. Less than 430 days to the 2019 general elections, however, the political space has continued to generate varied interests. The interests are being manifested not only in the social media, but in the regular media. One of such is the alleged directive by INEC for political parties to conclude their primaries by May next year. How authentic are these stories, and what are the INEC plans towards the 2019 elections?
And joining me to answer these questions raised in that report by Abdullahi Garba Brinin Kudu is the Director of Publicity and Voter Education of INEC, Mr. Oluwole Osaze Ozi. Mr. Oluwole Osaze Ozi, you're welcome to our studios.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, the first question raised by our correspondent there was that the media has been awash of stories that INEC gave a deadline for political parties to conclude their primaries before May next year. Is this coming from INEC?
No, it's not. INEC has its own way of doing things when it wants to publicize its activities. It either issues official statements signed by a duly authorized official of the commission, or it calls a press conference, calls stakeholders together. It doesn't issue guidelines, it doesn't issue statements in secret. And I noticed that the media has been awash with some of these stories, but nobody has really quoted a source. Usually they'll say INEC says. Now, INEC doesn't speak as an institution, it speaks through its officials. It's either the chairman, commissioner, or probably a director, but it's the story has to be credited to an official. And I saw some of those stories, especially in social media. No source was credited for that, just as INEC says. So it's not true that the primaries have been issued. I think a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, INEC did issue a statement of rebutting. The issue came up less than a month ago, and a rebuttal statement was issued. I don't know why in the last couple of days it's just resurfaced again, but no, when a timetable and schedule of activities will be released, we'll let the media know, we'll let Nigerians know, we'll let all stakeholders, because directly at the political parties, they will know about it. It will not be done in secret or clandestinely. It will be publicized, well publicized from official channels.
All right, Mr. Oluwole, what's the rationale behind the newly registered political parties in less than 2 years to the next elections?
Oh, that's quite simple, because certain associations, 21, have met the criteria. That's the only rationale we use in registering political parties. At any given time, there are all so many associations that apply to be registered. Some meet the criteria, others don't. For all those who meet the threshold, who meet the criteria stipulated in the Constitution, they certainly are and will be registered. And the Electoral Act actually permits the Commission to continue registration of political parties up to 6 months before the general election. So it's an ongoing process as we're seated here. Many more applications are pending. They've not crystallized or reached the stage where we've not gone through all the processes. So all that meets the criteria will be registered. Those that don't will fall by the wayside.
All right, are these new political parties not going to congest the ballot paper?
Well, I don't know about congestion of the ballot paper. Yes, it is a logistical challenge. Yes, if all decide to fill candidates, it will be quite a long ballot paper. We have to look for a creative way of accommodating all of them and give them sufficient space so that when people indicate their choice, it doesn't spill over from one box to another. Yes, these are there, but Nigerians have to decide how many parties are too many. You recall that when the Commission tried to bring in some measures, for example, stating that they should have offices in 2/3 of the states, the Supreme Court, the case when the Supreme Court, where Balarabe Musa PRP as it then was, and Ganifa took the Commission to court that, look, you cannot constrict the space. You must open up the space. So, be that as it may, any association that meets the criteria has to be registered. People always give the example that so many countries, how Republic of Benin here, have over 100 parties and things like that. You might only hear 1 or 2, like in the United States and the UK.
So sorry, Mr. Oluwole Osaze Ozi. We have limited time, but thanks for clearing the grey as regards some of the burning issues on the newly registration of 21 political parties.
Thank you for having me.
Now, this is NTA Network News. We'll take a short break now. When we return, the news continues.
It is celebration time as Kaduna rolls out the red carpet to welcome guests
to the series of events lined up to mark the Kaduna Centenary celebration with the theme, Unity and Progress in Diversity. Kaduna is 100 years since its declaration in 1917 as the capital of the then northern Nigeria. It is a milestone marked by a series of events to celebrate 100 years of dynamism, diversity, and development of Kaduna and its inhabitants in all facets of human endeavors. The celebration, which runs through the month of December 2017, will feature special Muslim and Christian prayers, lectures and exhibitions, musical festivals, horse racing, a grand durbar, and cultural displays. The Kaduna Centenary celebration, and together we can make Kaduna great once again.
Babe, what's up? What you doing?
I'll call you back. I'm not on another.
Hey, babe, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing?
Hello, baby. I'm getting on the wedding list now. Even see your cocoa. Even Uncle is here.
Get 10 times your recharge value to call and browse anyhow. Recharge with *220 style the pin hash to enjoy this offer. Available to new and existing subscribers.
Babe, what you doing?
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Go find where I go buy UTME form for Junior. You no need to rush go find where to buy UTME form because JAMB don't locate them for inside your phone.
Inside phone?
JAMB don't begin sell 2018 UTM form from December 6, 2017 reach February 6, 2018. To register by form, text surname, first name plus middle name to 55019. JAMB go send profile code. Now this profile code candidate go fill when they pay for UTM form. It they available for commercial and microfinance banks, mobile money operators. If you make mistake for your name, just text correct surname, first name, middle name to 55019. And if now your profile code you lost, just text resend to 55019. After payment, candidate go receive e-pin. Now this e-pin candidate go take go any accredited JAMB CBT center to complete online registration. If you don't receive your e-pin or you lose them, just text UTM e-pin or DE-pin to 55019 and JAMB go send them back to you. Use your phone to buy your form.
JAMB, enhancing academic excellence.
Madonna University, founded by Reverend Father Professor E.M.P. Ede, is the first-class science private university in Nigeria and the first Catholic university in West Africa sub-region, with 3 campuses in Elele, River State, Okija, Anambra State, and Akbugo, Enugu State. Citadel of academic excellence and sound moral, free of strike and cultism. Madonna University already has many faculties, including College of Medicine, Pharmacy, Health Sciences, Basic Medical Sciences, Social Sciences, Management Sciences, Education and Arts, Engineering and Law. The university is currently admitting undergraduate and postgraduate students for 2017-2018 academic session. Prospective candidates who score up to 120 and above in the UTME are eligible to apply, including those who did not choose the university in their JAMB applications. For further inquiries, call 0813-718-0957 or visit our website www.madonnauniversity.edu.ng. Madonna University, an institution with difference.
Oh no! Oh.
What's the problem?
You remember the online business I told you I joined like 2 months ago?
Yes, that's the one that promised 50% bonus on your investment?
Yes. I invested 100,000 naira. After 30 days, I got back 150,000 naira. So I put in 500,000, expecting 750,000 naira. But right now, I mean, I've been trying and it's like the website has crashed and there's no other way to contact them.
But I warned you, Cynthia. You have been duped.
No.
Yes, you have been duped. That's what these fraudsters do. They come with wonder banks or Ponzi schemes and they have no license whatsoever from any of our financial regulators. They come with all promises that they will double your investment or triple your investment. After a short while, they disappear. Cynthia, before you put your money into any bank or investment company, make sure you do your investigation from any of our financial system regulators. Beware. Do not fall prey to the antics of wonder banks or Ponzi schemes.
This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN.
Welcome to the letter book of celebrations.
Life is celebration, my
celebration. The morning dew is a celebration of a new dawn. The sun celebrates the day. The moon celebrates the night. Valletta sparkling fruit drink with its sparkling bubbles celebrates every moment with you. Celebration is for everyone. Anytime, anywhere. Celebration goes beyond special occasions. Enjoy the refreshing taste of celebration anytime, anywhere with Valletta.
The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Chinedu Nwajoba, on behalf of Governing Council, Senate and Congregation, cordially invites the general public to the second convocation ceremony of the Federal University, Ndufu Alikikwo, Funai, Ebonyi State, scheduled as follows. Monday, 18th December 2017, convocation lecture by Chief John Nyanwodo, President General Ohaneze Ndibo. Venue, University Auditorium. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Tuesday, 19th December 2017, conferment of degrees and award of prizes. Venue, Convocation Arena. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Special guest of honor, President Muhammadu Buhari. Guest of honor, Governor David Umahi, Governor of Ebonyi State. Professor Sunday O. Elom, Chairman, Senate Ceremonial Committee. Announcer.
It is time to celebrate. Now season of surprise. December here again.
This is a surprise. We are here to share some love. We hold you in our hearts. Thank you so much.
Celebrate, mama. A season filled with love. Mama. December here again. Mama. Let's do it once again.
I appreciate MTN for what they did in Maiduguri, here in the barracks.
And your loved ones, rejoice with families.
We appreciate what MTN are doing for us. To be sincere, we are happy.
We like MTN, we will continue like MTN.
Buy something for Bobo and your love.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant. To achieve our creed as we promise, we shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Future Assured Program of Her Excellency, Wife of the President, Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, in collaboration with the UNFPA, is organizing a one-day workshop titled War Against Abuse. The workshop is expected to open discourse on all forms of abuse with a view to create awareness and proper solutions. The workshop is to hold on Saturday, 16th December 2017 at the State House Conference Center by 9 a.m.
Many thanks for being there, and if you're just joining us, this is NTA Network News. Now to security matters. The Air Force component of Operation Lafia Dole is successfully conducting operations in some Boko Haram hideouts in northern Borno and Sambisa. The operation, codenamed Operation Ruwan Wuta, is based on intelligence and surveillance mission, which led to bombardments of areas such as Kolaram, which is found to be an active Boko Haram zone. The battle damage assessments recorded that there has been several destructions and killings of some insurgents. Similarly, some of the escaping insurgents were tracked while going towards Fubilaram near Mongono and have been contained decisively. Now, the saying that a golden fish has no hiding place played itself out at the December Call to Bar ceremony as one Grace Olanrewaju clinched 15 prizes. Not only this, 29 candidates came out in flying colors with first-class honors, the highest number ever attained in the annals of the Call to Bar ceremonies. Director General of Nigeria Law School, Dr. Olanrewaju Onadeko, SCN, attributes the 72% success recorded this year to dint of commitment, hard work, and sustained level of focus among the students. Abdul Fattah Adediro reports.
1,294 candidates that sat for the August bar final examinations, 29 obtained first class, while 211 obtained second class upper, with 1,046 obtaining second class lower, while 3,000 obtained the pass grade. Director General of Nigerian Law School, Dr. Olanrewaju Onadeko, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, commended the candidates for shunning all forms of examination malpractices of the past, which is a testimony of the emphasis being placed on character and professional ethics, a subject now being taught on its own with skills. Call her master of the law in her own right. You might not be too far from it, as the lady of the moment, Grace Gureje Olanrewaju, clinched 15 prizes and emerged the best overall female student of the year.
It was a product function of determination, discipline. There were times you had to just cut off a lot of activities and face your books. It was really, I would say it was easy and I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was all God's grace throughout the journey. I give God all the glory.
I feel really elated and I'm just really grateful to God for everything. It's been really tough, but thank God it has finally come to an end.
One has to work very hard because not just working hard, you have to be positive minded.
Really stressful, but then now it's really exciting, so I really thank God.
I'm very ready for that. It's been a long year, so I'm excited for that.
It's been eventful, a lot of challenges, a lot of successes, but eventually we are here, thank God.
In Abuja, Abdul Fattah Adediro, NTA News.
And still from the judiciary, High Court of the Federal Capital Territory sitting in Jabi, Abuja, has refused bail application of Miriam Sanda standing trial for culpable homicide. The trial judge, Justice Halilu Yusuf, in his ruling dismissed the application on the grounds that the defense counsel, Joseph Daudu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, could not convince the court with evidence of argument. Abdullah Ajia reports that 3 other defendants in the suit were granted bail.
Upon resumption of hearing before the court on the bail application earlier filed by the defense counsel, this time around, 3 other defendants in the suit, Aliyu Sanda, Maimuna Aliyu, and Sadia Aminu, appeared for the first time to testify on their alleged involvement in the murder case and of having the knowledge of the murder and helping in cleaning up the blood stain at the scene of the incidents in order to cover up the alleged offense. They pleaded not guilty to the charge. In his argument, defense counsel Joseph Daudu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, asked the court to grant Mariam Sanda bail on the ground of exceptional circumstances of her health report and for her to give proper maternal care to her 8-month-old baby. The court, however, granted bail to the 3 other defendants based on the court's discretionary power. The 3 defendants were asked to produce 2 sureties with evidence of residence in Abuja and submit all their travel documents with the registrar of the court.
We are ready to go and we are prepared. And that is why you have seen we have taken 4 clear days. 4 clear days for the matter to be disposed of once and for all on our part. And we just hope that the needful will be done.
The matter has been adjourned to the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th of February 2018 for a speedy hearing.
Now, more on the judiciary as we join Jennifer in Lagos. Jennifer. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Olajide. To Lagos. Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo of the Lagos High Court, Igboshere, has fixed 13th, 14th, and 15th of January 2018 for the trial of Chukwudumeme Onwumadike, popularly known as Evans. Vera Chimuba, who was in court, reports that all parties and counsels were in court.
Pending applications, reply to counter affidavit and filing of court processes are reasons why Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo of Lagos High Court, Igboshere, adjourned the commencement of trial of Evans to January 2018. This is to enable her hear all pending applications for bail, change of counsel, and the defense seeking to quash the charges against Evans. Evans is charged alongside Joseph Ikenna Emeka, Victor Aduba, and Linus Okpara. They are facing charges for conspiracy to kidnap, kidnapping, murder, and attempted murder preferred against them by Lagos State. Evans is also facing 2 separate charges of kidnapping and unlawful possession of firearms before Justice Adebayo Akintoye of Lagos High Court, Igboshere. Evans' counsel Olukoya Ogungbeje had argued that the charges amount to duplicity and constitute gross abuse of court process. The prosecution counsel and Lagos State Director of Public Prosecution, Titilayo Shitabe, had told the court that the application is misconstrued and lacks merit because there was no duplicity in the charges as the provisions of the law were duly satisfied. Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo had ruled that provisions of sections 152 and 153 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law is to the effect that every offense shall be treated separately. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal has fixed the 26th of January 2018 to hear an appeal on criminal charges against Evans. In Lagos, Viera Chimuba, NTA News.
Public relations practitioners in the country have been challenged to ensure high standards of professionalism and ethical practice with a view to repositioning their organizations for efficient and effective service delivery. Director of Public Affairs, Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Tony Ojobo, stated this when he received the award as the Public Relations Personality of the Year. Ken Egbeluge reports that the award was organized by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations in Lagos.
Public relations executives in the country. The purpose was to recognize public relations practitioners who have carved a niche for themselves by contributing immensely to the promotion of the sector and the overall growth of their organizations. Director of Public Affairs, Nigerian Communications Commission, received the Public Relations Personality of the Year award. The award was given in recognition of his stellar leadership qualities and outstanding contributions to the development of public relations.
I will continue to put what we're doing in the public space, especially as Nigerian Communications Commission, because I believe that in the course of this assignment that this recognition came. So we'll continue to do what we're doing, improve on what we're doing, and then make sure that we say it as it is.
Ojobo is a consistent professional who dishes out only quality. He takes correction.
Other recipients of the award are Henrietta Yakubu from the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Moshood Jimo from the Nigerian Police, and Folake Ani Mumuni from the First Bank of Nigeria.
To me, it's the beginning of more hard work. And for my organization, as the first point, contact point for foreigners coming into Nigeria, I'm going to ensure that things are done right.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations was established to promote and develop the art and science of public relations practice in Nigeria. In Lagos, Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
And to business. Federal government to raise 10.6 billion naira green bond for renewable energy as Federal Inland Revenue Service targets additional 6 billion naira from VAT. Plus 2018 fiscal year projection by economic analyst and stock market report. Details with Musa Toliat on Business News segment.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on Business News segment. As tax compliance gradually gains ground in the country, the federal government is convinced that an additional 6 billion naira could be collected before the end of the year, having realized the sum of 17 billion naira through the voluntary assets and income declaration scheme in 6 months. Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Babatunde Fowler, gave the hint at the sensitization workshop on voluntary assets and income declaration scheme in Lagos. He said the projection became necessary given the enthusiasm generated by the scheme, which has resulted in taxpayers coming forward to declare their incomes voluntarily. Some economic experts have lauded the various policies implemented by the federal government to stabilize the economy in the last 11 months. They, however, need the federal government to consolidate on the successes recorded and place more emphasis on diversification of the economy in 2018.
By the time we got to the third quarter, we started seeing some improvements in the overall performance of the economy. One would like to see the stability in the economic performance coming from the real sector of agriculture, of manufacturing, even of services.
In the last 6 to 9 months, I think the foreign exchange market has been stabilized. So I believe that government is on the right path in managing the foreign exchange problem.
Budget is a one-year plan, and it's a plan. Appropriate planning, adequate planning must be, first of all, undertaken so that everything that is budgeted for is about to be implemented is actually realistic.
Let's now find out how transactions went on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange as trading closes for the week.
Trading closed at the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange with an all-share index of 38,436, with a total number of 425 million shares valued at 9 billion naira in 4,104 deals, while the market capitalization stood at 13 trillion naira. Dangote Cement, Nigerian Breweries, Presco, Guinness, Zenith Bank led the gainers table, while Okomo Oil, WAPCO, Cadbury, Unilever and Dangote Flour led the losers table.
Stock market reports ends the business news segment. Thanks for watching. News at 9 continues shortly. Stay with us.
Thank you, Musa. You're still on to NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay tuned.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. There's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Sedap Supreme Noodles, capturing the tasty goodness. It's the Sedap Supreme Chicken Essence that gives it the truly delicious chicken taste. With real chicken essence. Be Supreme, Nigeria.
Nivea combines its unique care with natural cocoa butter and vitamin E. For intensive nourishment that lasts. Glowing, radiant skin. Cocoa butter body lotion from Nivea. Now say goodbye to dry skin with great Nivea specials this Harmattan.
Dettol team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold? No! They are spread through germs which are everywhere. You collect germs that cause diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands and taking your bath with Dettol soap to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Wash, wash, wash your hands. What you have to do is bath, bath, bath yourself. Dettol soap every day. Wash, wash, wash your hands.
Slavery is an evil practice abolished all over the world over 200 years ago. But today, human traffickers are selling human beings as slaves in Africa. It is your responsibility to make sure that you and the people you know do not fall into slavery. Don't believe fake promises of jobs abroad.
People went to say Libya, Italy. Italy no use you when they carry me on top water. 4 days now they lock me for inside house, no food, no water. I nearly die. Now God, when me heaven and earth, now save me. If you get 1 naira for Nigeria, you get junior one, you say you no get papa, you no get mama, that make you come out. I beg go they do farm work. You better pass person when enter road.
Don't accept to travel to Europe through the Sahara Desert. You may be walking into slavery. Don't be a slave.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Welcome back and to Petroleum Waters. The NNPC says its monitoring team in conjunction with security agencies this Friday discovered 144 trucks that were not streamed by some marketers in Kano. The products were meant to feed Kano and its environs equal to the discovery. The resurfaced trucks had been sent to discharge their products at the designated locations. Of the 144 trucks discovered, 26 were scheduled for Katsina, while 118 trucks were made to discharge their products in Kano and its environs. NNPC warns marketers across the country to desist from acts that may heighten supply gaps noticeable in a few remaining parts of the country, as security agencies have been detailed to go on the trail of any marketer who may be hoarding products. Meanwhile, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has denied the allegation that its group managing director, Dr. Mekati Baru, said the chief of staff to the president, Malam Abba Kyari, directed the corporation to keep the sum of 50 billion naira away from the Treasury Single Account (TSA). The corporation says the allegation is baseless and is a clear misrepresentation of the truth. It explained that by virtue of operation of the NNPC, the corporation made series of compelling cases to the presidency and Central Bank of Nigeria to allow certain categories of accounts operate outside the TSA as the commingled funds governed by detailed agreements with local and international implications. NNPC only sought for necessary approvals, which the Chief of Staff merely conveyed the notice of approvals to the corporation, and noted that members of the relevant committee of the National Assembly have requested for copies of such, which were duly provided. Now, Ogochukwuka has next set of reports from Benin. Ogochukwuka.
Thank you, Olajide. Welcome to Benin. The Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, has emphasized that the use of science, technology and innovation, STI, to modernize facilities, production, systems and services is capable of raising the status of the nation to one of the top economies of the world. He was speaking at the 15th meeting of the National Council on Science and Technology in Benin. Udwak Obo Achibong reports.
Dr. Onu noted that the recently launched Economic Recovery and Growth Plan in the country, which recognizes the place of science and technology in driving competitiveness and economic activities in all sectors, is the best way to go. He said building a knowledge-based economy remains a top priority to the ministry, which has necessitated the development of a STI roadmap 2017 to 2030.
The roadmap tells Nigerians that science and technology is not alien to our country, that our forefathers, our ancestors were involved.
Governor Godwin Obaseki, represented by the State Commissioner for Science and Technology, Emmanuel Agbale, said with the establishment of the ministry in the state, his administration remains committed to the promotion of STI activities. The Minister of Science and Technology later visited various stands by the different agencies and departments under the ministry, where made in Nigerian goods and services were exhibited. In Benin, Udwakobong Achibong, NTA News.
The Council of Traditional Rulers, Edo State, is throwing its weight behind the fight against human trafficking, illegal migration, and slavery. The chairman of the council, His Royal Majesty Oba Ewa II, the Oba of Benin, expressed this position at the inauguration of the reconstituted council in Benin by Governor Godwin Obaseki. Ivie Omoyi reports.
The alarming rate of human trafficking and modern-day slavery in which Nigerians, especially Edo indigenes, are involved in, the Oba of Benin, Oba Ewa II, says The council will do its best to check the trend by enlightening the public to the dangers associated with taking such decisions in a bid to make ends meet.
We condemn this gruesome act of modern-day human slavery in its totality. To thank the federal government, the International Organization for Migration, for the prompt intervention.
Meanwhile, some of the returnees from Libya are appealing to Nigerians who may have the intention of traveling by road not to give it a thought.
I will not advise anybody to enter this road again. The road, Libya. When I hear my dear, now run.
It's a journey of life and death.
Edo State government has received over 1,000 Nigerian illegal migrants who hailed from the state in the last 2 months. In Benin, Ivie Omoyi, NTA News.
And as our contribution from Benin is back to you in Abuja.
Now, we now join Caleb in Jos for more reports.
Welcome to Jos. President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated his administration's commitment to tackling security challenges in the country against all odds. He started this at the passing out parade of 700 newly commissioned assistant superintendents of police held at the parade ground of the Police Staff College, Jos. Bilkisu Nuhu has details.
Represented by the Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazau, said the newly commissioned officers must be focused, determined and discharge their duties effectively.
This graduation ceremony is another major milestone in the process of fulfillment of my administration's promise to the Nigerian people and the international community to make security a frontline concern.
Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris, represented by Deputy Inspector General of Police, Research and Planning, Valentine Tomchuku, and the Commandant of the Police Staff College, AIG Dorothy Gimba, said the task of policing any democratic society depends largely on the number of personnel, professional competence, training, equipment available, and discharge of duty.
These cadets being commissioned into the Nigerian Police Force today are part of the 10,000 able-bodied Nigerians recruited last year on the approval of Your Excellency, the President and the Commander-in-Chief.
We are, without any iota of doubt, confident that this set of cadet AFPs have been equipped and are ready to take up the responsibilities of law enforcement.
The newly commissioned officers were trained in crime prevention, emergency and dynamic risk management in the past 12 months. From the Police Staff College, Jos, Bilkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
The British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Paul Arkwright, has described Plateau State as a land with abundant deposits of natural mineral resources that, if harnessed, can turn around the fortunes of the state. The diplomat made the remark during his visit to the Plateau State Governor, Simon Bakola Long, at the Government House, Little Rayfield. Ruth Stephen Hoke reports.
The British High Commissioner said the focus of his visit is to explore business opportunities and investments in the state, particularly with the abundant mineral deposits in Plateau State. He expressed the desire of the government to seek ways of partnering with the state in order to boost the economy and create jobs. Mr. Paul Arkwright further said the business prospects that will be looked out for include agriculture and solid minerals.
The focus of my visit is very much on business opportunities. So I was very interested to meet the Chambers of Commerce yesterday. I met some of the business people who are working here. I met some of the British business community last night at dinner. I'm very excited to hear about the prospects for British investment in Plateau State.
Governor Samuel Lalong assured the delegation that peace has returned to the state, adding that one of the policy thrusts of his government is to restore and maintain the peace.
To attract people from outside, you must maintain peace in the state. And so we made it a cardinal principle and also priority in our policy thrust to make the restoration of peace, to also continue to engage investors to come to Plateau State.
Governor Lalong also told the delegation that his administration is investment-driven. In Jos, Ruth Stephen Hockey, NTA News.
Olajide, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Caleb. And now to religious matters. General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, says there are signs indicating better days are ahead for Nigeria and its people. At a Christmas praise concert held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, the cleric urged Nigerians to be hopeful as the healing hand of God is on the nation. State House correspondent Gideon Ifadi reports.
It is Yuletide, a season when most Christians celebrate the birth of Christ. And as Pastor Enoch Adeboye notes, the birth signifies peace, and embracing peace would tide over the challenges facing the people.
This one is beyond us. This is the finger of God.
Buttressing this were lessons from the Bible which were read by Speaker, House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara, Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun, and Head of Service Winifred Iyoita. Various groups were there to make their presentations, including the Aso Villa Chapel.
Heavenly Father.
And still to come, sports and weather. Don't go away.
It's time.
Yes, it's time to do it right, Nigerians. It's time we change our leadership recruitment system to credibility and acceptability and introduce grassroots-oriented politics.
It's time we use political power to serve God and humanity and respect the rule of law.
It's time to do it right, Nigerians. Yes, we can do it.
Join the National Rescue Movement, NRM, the party founded on creativity and ideas.
The party for peace, productivity, and prosperity. NRM. Together, we can rescue.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily. In unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilet, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 Cap Full for surface cleaning in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid, to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
We're glad to know you're still there. The death has been announced of Dr. Titi Justina Omeche-Ogiri at the age of 67. The deceased, who was the first female investment executive at New Nigeria Development Company, NDDC, Kaduna, will be remembered for her contributions in entrepreneurship and community development in spite of her lifetime struggle with sickle cell anemia.